Hello students, today we are going to see the next part. We have already completed the digestion, absorption, assimilation and ingestion. In this video we are going to see the hormonal regulation of digestion. See here a number of hormones that will work on the digestive system so that the process of digestion can be completed. So that's why already I have given the function, the cell that release the hormone, that is gastrin. So in this video, let's just see the process, actually how the hormones will control the process of digestion. Everything we are going to see in this video. So first of all, the hormone is gastrin. So here we are going to see the hormones, 4 hormones here. What are the hormones? First of all, gastrin. Second hormone is secretin. Third hormone is cholecystokinin, which is also written in abbreviation as CCK, that is cholecystokinin. And then the last one, that is GIP, that is gastric inhibitory peptide. Okay, gastric inhibitory peptide, which here only it is mentioned that it is inhibitory. It is going to inhibit the action. So these 4 hormones we are going to see. Actually this part is not given in NCERT, but then also sometime question comes, so let's just see all of it. First of all, the function of gastrin. Whenever the food will be present in the stomach, then what happens? It gives stress to the stress receptors present in the stomach. So this stress receptor, whenever the food is filled in the stomach, get activated. Whenever it gets activated, it gives stimulus to the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is present actually in the hindbrain. So it gives the digestive center. Here we have the digestive center. In the digestive center we have the medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata get this impulse, sensory impulse from the stress receptor of the stomach. Then after that, the medulla oblongata in turn gives a response, actually one sensory, another stimulus to the endocrine cell. So whenever the medulla oblongata receives a stimulus from the stress receptor from the stomach, it in turn give another stimulus to the endocrine cells of the stomach itself, so that it can release the hormone gastrin from the G cells. So medulla oblongata stretch on actually stimulate the G cells. G cells now will release the gastrin hormone. So whenever this gastrin hormone is released, then what happens? This gastrin hormone will act on the another cells, and then the other cells like the oxyntic cell, chief cell. This cell can release hydrochloric acid and the pepsin respectively. So how they can release the pepsin or the hydrochloric acid? Because those cells will not able to understand whether the food is present in the stomach or not, and all those enzymes will not be able to release, because whenever the food is present, only in that time pepsin will be released, otherwise not. So how this peptic cell or the oxyntic cell will understand that when to release the enzymes, right? So actually this is the neurosensory stimulus, that stress receptor give the stimulus to the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata stimulate the endocrine cells, that is the G cell. G cell will release the gastrin hormone. Gastrin hormone activate the peptic cell and the oxyntic cell, and then the oxyntic cell will release hydrochloric acid, and similarly in the same time the peptic cell or chief cell or gymogenic cell will release the pepsin hormone, and this way the process of digestion will occur. So this is the function of gastrin, remember. Next we will see the another hormone, that is secretin. The food that has been digested, it will go to the next region, that is the duodenum. So whenever the food reaches the duodenum, what happens? In the duodenum region, the food already that in the stomach, the food is mixed with the hydrochloric acid. Remember, whenever the food is mixed with the hydrochloric acid, that food will become acidic. So this acidic food that will be known as chyme. Remember, so what is chyme? The food is mixed with the hydrochloric acid, makes the food that is acidic in nature, that will be known as chyme. So this chyme, whenever it is reaching the duodenum region, in the duodenum region, on either side what we have? On this side we have the liver, on this side we have the pancreas. So how the duodenum will understand that the liver have to release the bile and the pancreas have to release the pancreatic enzyme. This is the acidic food itself. So this acidic food give a stimulus to the duodenum. Duodenum now, duodenal cells will have the cells, endocrine cells. Those endocrine cells will release the secretin. Secretin will act on the liver actually, liver to secrete bile, and pancreas to secrete or release the bicarbonate. So liver and pancreas now able to understand that yes, the food is present in the duodenum. Now we have to release our secretion. So that's why the liver will release the bile and pancreas will release the bicarbonate ion. So this way the food that is acidic earlier now become basic, because this bile and bicarbonate ion, they are basic in nature, right? So these are basic in nature. So the food that is been now basic, that will be known as chyle. Remember, if the food is acidic, that is known as chyle, and if the food is basic in the region of duodenum, that will be known as the chyle. So this way the secretin hormone act. Now after that, the next type of enzyme we will see. What is that? That is cholecystokinin. In abbreviation we will write as CCK. In exam also it can come like CCK or cholecystokinin, but just remember CCK abbreviation is important. So duodenum, which is releasing the hormone, that is CCK, that act on the liver, that act on the pancreas, that act on the gallbladder. Now just see, liver will secrete bile. Okay, it secrete the bile. So whenever the liver secretes the bile will not able to release directly. It will be stored in the gallbladder. Okay, so first of all, the liver that will be secreting, that will secrete the bile, and the bile will be stored inside the gallbladder. So this CCK will act on the liver to secrete the bile. Okay, and the bile which has been stored in the gallbladder, that need to be released. Okay, that need to be released. So how the gallbladder will able to release the bile? Whenever CCK give the stimulation, the stored bile present in the gallbladder will able to be released. Okay, so remember this two term, that two word, one is secrete, another is release. Secrete means they synthesize. Bile will be synthesized, that will be formed inside the liver. So who will give the stimulation so that the liver can secrete or liver can produce the bile? That will be CCK, cholecystokinin. And the bile, which is actually not been produced by gallbladder, it is just stored in the gallbladder, that will be able to released by this same, that is CCK. CCK will act on the gallbladder so that the stored bile that is present inside the gallbladder, they will able to release the secretion. So this is the gallbladder, and this pancreas that will also get the stimulation so that it can release the pancreatic juice. So pancreatic juice will release by the action stimulation of the CCK or cholecystokinin. After that, let's just move to the last hormone. What is that? That is GIP, that is gastric inhibitory polypeptide or gastric inhibitory peptide or gastric inhibitory protein, same. Now this is the inhibitory hormone. Remember, it acts on the gastrin. Suppose, just imagine one thing, that the food is already present in the intestine, that has been digesting. Now if suppose 1 second we have taken the food, then the stomach also start acting on the food. At the same time we have digestion of the food in the duodenum also, and then stomach also. What will happen? this stomach, after completing its digestion of protein, it will push the food towards the duodenum, but duodenum already have the food because it is not completing the food digestion yet. So that's why whenever the duodenum is there working, it's not completing its digestion, till then the stomach should not push the food towards the duodenum. So that's why whenever in the duodenum region the food is already been digesting, then the duodenum will release GIP so that it can act on the gastrin cell of the stomach, so that the gastric cell will not able to release the gastrin hormone, and that's why the gastric juice, that is oxyntic cell, will not be stimulated, the peptic cell will not be stimulated. So that's why it will not able to release the enzyme, that is hydrochloric acid and the pepsin, and they will not able to digest. So it will stop the process of digestion in the stomach region if the food is already been digested in the intestinal, that is duodenal region. And yes, also it will stop the churning movement. Churning movement means it's nothing but the peristalsis movement. The food will mix with the enzymes in the region of the stomach by the movement of the stomach, that is the peristalsis movement. So that peristalsis movement is been stopped, so that the food will not even mix with the enzyme, and if the enzyme is not being secreted, they will be stopped even secreting. That will be by the GIP, gastric inhibitory peptide. So this way we are going to see this, and hormones will act on different cells so that it cannot release release its secretions, the enzymes and enzymes. If it is not released, the digestion process will be stopped. So this way we are going to see we have actually completed the part digestion, absorption, assimilation and hormonal control. And yes, along with that a number of other hormones will be also there. I will give you the chart how we can remember all of this and different functions of all of these hormones. So that's all about the video. I hope you understand. Thank you.